Hello, everybody. Welcome along. My name is Benjamin Bloom. This is the Benjamin Bloom Football Channel. Please leave your bias at the door and join us for Championship Review Round 34. I was going to say for the 34th time, but we've done loads of split ones, so we're probably closer to 50 Championship Reviews for the season. Maybe someone will count up. But here we are to talk about the second half of Round 34. Which were played on Tuesday and Wednesday, and some really big stories last night in the Championship. Massive games between Norwich and Brentford and Rotherham and Sheffield Wednesday. Late goals at Stoke, Swansea, and in that Rotherham game as well. And lots of narratives for us to discuss and explore. And plenty to discuss. So let me know if you can see me, hear me loudly and clearly. Make yourself known in the comments. We're going to go through each and every one of the 6 games. We'll go from highest ranked teams to lowest ranked teams as ever. And as ever, try and get your comments in and focus on the game that we are on at the time for the best chance of having them read out by my good self. Before we go any further, as I attempt to do up my button, which is, there we go. We got it done. We need to just do a couple of quick plugs. Bear with me for 25 seconds or so. Thank you to Russ, who is our fan sponsor for the Championship Review Show. Fan and now friend, despite Ben's terrible taste in football teams. Russ got involved over on Patreon. You can do the same. We have just put up pretty much 40 minutes of Patreon exclusive Q&A. The Thursday Q&A goes out on Thursdays, go figure. I've done that this morning. Plenty of other good stuff on Patreon, including Classics Reviewed, that's exclusive, and the quick predictions. You can super chat any point during the broadcast. First super chat in the stream becomes the king of the bin. And of course, for the princely sum of absolutely naff all, you can hit the thumbs up button, you can subscribe, and you can ring the bell for notifications. There we go. Thank you, Owen, a 10 Aussie dollar super chat. Thank you very, very much. Very, very kind stuff. Guys, please don't comment on the screen. The internet is the internet. It'll figure itself out, and I'm not going to get out a soldering iron and go into my computer while we're midstream. Right. Let's get into last night's result. And there they were. It was in the 5:30. Norwich 1, Brentford 0. Then the Barnsley train steams on. QPR 1, Barnsley 3. It was Watford 2, Wycombe 0. The imperious Watford home record rolls on as well. Bristol City 1, Bournemouth 2. Woodgate wins again. Back-to-back wins there. Sheffield Wednesday 1, Rotherham 2. Wow. Lots to unpack in that game. And also Stoke 1, Swansea City 2. Some late stoppage time drama in both of those games. We'll start at the top. And we did this one on the Super Stream. And it was first against second, and Norwich 1, Brentford 0, and a real kind of flag in the sand or line in the sand or flag in the ground, to mix my metaphors, from Norwich. Any chance of anyone knocking them off top spot would have kind of, in the main, been Brentford, and Brentford beating them would have been a big statement, and the reverse is true, and Norwich get the win and look like, unless basically Emi Buendia injures himself or gets injured and is out for the entire season, and Norwich do the Devon lock of all Devon locks, it pretty much looks like Norwich are up now. They'd have to be utterly terrible between now and the end of the season to not get promoted, and they are 10 points clear. Buendia again scoring the only goal in this one. There are your teams. Krul, Aaron's Hanley, Gibson, Janulis, McLean, Skip, Hernandez, Vrancic, and the outstanding Buendia with Pukki up top. For Brentford, Raya in goal, Dalsgaard, Reading, no Janssen still, Pinnock, No Henry at left back, so Sorensen plays. Jensen, Janel, Godos, no De Silva either. Maybe add those 3 players in, and it may have been a slightly more competitive challenge from the Bees in this game. And Buemo, Tony, and Canos up the top. Just the 1 goal in this game, scored by Buendia, superb, in off the right-hand side, curls it in with the left foot. And it was a good performance by Norwich, wasn't it? Pookie could have had another 2 goals, again, played in by Buendia both times and not managing to get the one-on-ones. Brentford should have taken the lead, though. Sergi Canos missed a huge opportunity when he kind of fell over 6 yards from goal. But if you look at the numbers, it's a nice, sustainable performance from Norwich. Look, 3 big chances to 1 is always revealing. 2 corners to 1 on the territory. 7 shots on target to 2. And particularly in the second half, other than, and Thomas Frank said as much himself, other than, a few long balls and centre-halves up in stoppage time, Norwich were, I thought, pretty comfortable in the main throughout that second half. And there is the top of the table. So 34 played, 73 points, 6 wins on the trot for Norwich, 22 wins already. The total to guarantee you automatic promotion for the past 10 years on average has been 84 points. Norwich are 11 short of that with 12 games to go. Even with 1.5 points per game, which would be 18 onto that, Norwich would finish with 91. So they can literally drop to below playoff form and still win the title. It now, to me, as we sit right here, obviously things can change. Bad runs, good runs. It looks like Norwich way out in front with a 3-team shootout for second place. As it stands today, obviously, I know things can change. Let's have a look at what you guys are saying in the chat. Anthony, that's tremendous. I'll donate every time Barnsley win a game. Come on, the Barnsley then, is what we are saying. Right, what have we got here? Paul, watched the Norwich game and a little disappointed that... Oh, I don't know whether I should read that one out. There we go. Friend has suggested that Thomas Frank's downfall was assuming Brentford had imposed the Brentford style of play on Norwich rather than adapting to counteract. Brentford do that to everybody, don't they? I admire Brentford for the way they play. They've got their philosophy and they say go against us. And let's be honest, Norwich now at this point have the air of a sort of Newcastle under Houghton or Benitez, where they've just got the best squad, the best player, probably the best manager, the best director of football, the most broadcast money coming in, and they just look a level above everybody else now. So I would admire Brentford for going toe to toe because it's admirable, frankly. Norwich cruised past. Pookie should have scored at least one. Yeah, he should have, shouldn't he? Really interesting rumours coming out last few days. It was actually Delia herself who scouted Emi Buendia after watching him on holiday. Wow. Yeah. Devon Lock reference for those of a certain age. Well, it would be El Collapso of all, absolute epic proportions there. Frank was right when he pointed out Norwich squad have done it all before. Yeah, big advantage, isn't it? Genuinely think Farker smashed the tactics. Well, I knew exactly what we were going to get from Norwich. I think everybody knew that it was a good game. He didn't really do anything that he's never done before, has he? But, it worked. I thought Brentford were a little lackluster and Norwich were good for the win. Pookie had so much energy, would fit well into the Barnsley side. Well, any side. Well, except the side that wants to go direct into the front man. Maybe he's a bit small for that. People also seem to be forgetting we were... No, I don't really think that's the narrative, Max. Brentford were without 3 of their key players, so I think you can forget any injury narrative in this game. Charlie, we didn't look good enough. Norwich dominated after they scored, didn't play well. Yeah, agree with all of that. Chris, disastrous round of fixtures for Brentford. Yes, I noticed that. Every other team in the top 10 won. B's now lost 4 of the last 6. Yes. A little slide here. We'll talk about, we'll mention this because Cov played last night. Coventry returning to the Rico next season. Brilliant stuff. Congratulations to Norwich. Never easy to go straight back up, even with a quality squad like that. No, they've done great, haven't they? Buendia was fantastic and obviously scored the winner. I just thought Buendia was so good last night. If you take Buendia out of that, it's an even game, but he must have played about 5 key passes where you just can't get near him. He's strong and he receives the ball. He always makes space with his first touch. And literally on the run, whatever, he always plays a key pass through. I just thought Buendia was just levels and levels above the championship last night. I thought he was outstanding. It was a brilliant performance. Big pressure on Brentford to finish the promotion job. Well, we will see. We will see indeed. I put a tweet up about this. There's a lot of Ruben Neves shouts. Grealish, obviously, Hernandez. There's been some brilliant players in the championship. The way Buendia is operating now is I could genuinely see him go straight into a top 5 team in any European team. There you go. 7 key passes. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. So much a cheat code. It's not true. Just levels and levels and levels above. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant player. And sometimes we see brilliant players play in the championship and they kind of get dragged down by the level, but his standards are so high that he just drags that team. And it really is going to look like 2 promotions on that guy's back. What a player is all I can say. What a player. Let's move on. I'll stop cooing over Norwich players as an Ipswich fan. I think that won't go down well, will it? Watford 2, Wycombe 0. Let's get our thoughts in on this one. It's Watford 2, Wycombe 0. Watford's imperious home record moves on, doesn't it? And João Pedro suspended. Andre Gray, who just hasn't been able to hit a cow's backside with a banjo for the longest time, scores 2 goals in this. So a bit of a tip of the cap to Xisco, who's getting a tune out of Gray and getting a tune out of this team. Sticks with the 4-3-3. Backman in goal. Firmino, Ekong, Sierralta and Messina. Zinkernagel starting in central midfield is interesting. I thought he'd go for Gosling in there without Chalobah there. Cleverly goes out injured. If anyone knows anything about that, let me know. Hughes, Sarr and Sema obviously flanking Gray in this game, who scores twice. So well done there. Wycombe go under again, but come on. Wycombe against these parachute teams. It's an uphill battle, isn't it? Stockdale, Grimmer, Tafazoli, Stewart and Jacobson. Knight and Gabe. Wheeler, Horgan, Onyedinma. Ikpeazu up top. Get your comments in on Watford versus Wycombe now. The narrative has changed. And there is the opening goal. Firmino, great work down the right-hand side. And this is what you want in a 4-3-3. You want your forwards narrow. You want your fullbacks outside them. And look where Sarr is, perfect. Look where Sema is. Look where the fullback is. And look where the 9 is. Well done. Perfectly executed there from Watford. And this was a nice goal, actually, playing through again. It's a really good through ball by Zinkernagel. Talking about Buendia and key passes there. Zinkernagel just nice and just poked it through for Gray for 2-0. And as I mentioned on Twitter last night, Watford have more points at home. Look at the bottom 10 there and Blackburn on 40. Watford have more points at home than the entire bottom 10. They've got 41 points from home games. The underlying numbers tell the story, you'd imagine, Watford versus Wycombe. And 63, and as Chris said in the chat there, it was not a good game round for Brentford, was it? The entire rest of the top 10 all win. Brentford are the only losers, and Watford go level on 63 points there. I do believe the remaining game between Brentford and Watford is at Brentford, though. So we've already had Brentford visit the Hornets, and we have already had Brentford visit Swansea, haven't we? Although maybe they've played twice already. I can't quite remember. Someone will correct me. They always do. So Watford in third, and you can now see Brentford 63, Watford 63. Swansea we'll talk about in a second, 62 with the games in hand as well. Excellent little race going on there. Whether or not Reading and Bournemouth can join, who knows? Both got back-to-back wins. Wickham, 23 points now. So they are 12 adrift with 13 to play. So 12 adrift. They're going to be done at the moment with 4 games to go, which is obviously in 8 games' time for Birmingham, who's the key club we need to look at there. But Watford, improving, aren't they? Improving. Let's have a look here. Watford. Surprise Gray scored. He's been useless for a couple of years. There we go. Cow's backside with a banjo. Yeah, because it's a comment. You never heard that one, a cow's backside with a banjo. Fish in a barrel for Watford. Their ideal late season fixture, I'd imagine. Yeah, true. Watford to overhaul Brentford. Could do. Watford looking good for second. Wickham gave us a good game. We were simply just a better side. Often the word backside is replaced by another. There you go. Ben Foster might be dropped for good. Is he fit again now? Backman has definitely got the shirt. Wickham, top scorer. And Nick Paisley's been good as well. And he's definitely not played 32 games for sure. He's been in there since sort of November, December, hasn't he? Watford played their best football since Deeney crocked. Cleverly knee, uncertain for Saturday. Gosling and Chalobah. Yeah, so they're looking, hence, thank you, Chris, hence the winger and central. Looking a bit short in central midfield. Jason, injuries a worry. Can see us getting second. Swans and Brentford not convincing lately. Brentford have played. Thanks, Max. Brentford have played Swans twice already. If only Watford's away. Well, if Watford's away form was as good as their home form, announce 110 points or something by the end of the season. Foster in light training. Hornets last 2 games away to Brentford and home to Swansea. Holy hell. They're going to want a lead going into those couple of games. Sensational. I'm just looking at the goals in here. So any other things in the games you can debate away, but I won't be commenting on them in terms of, So Swans Watford on the final day of the season. Wow. That is all I'm saying to that one. Speaking of Swansea, let's talk about the Swans. Swansea winning very late on with a slightly iffy looking penalty up at Stoke. A 96th minute winner for Mayhew from the penalty spot. And Stoke look very mid-table-y now, don't they? Given how we'll look at the table as it pertains to this game. Get your comments on this one. Stoke versus Swansea with the late penalty. It was given in the 94th minute and scored in the 96th, just to put a bit of meat on the bone there. There's your Stoke team: Gunn, Chester, Suter, Bart, Norrington, Davis and Smith, Allen and Mikel, Nick Powell, who's really having a good season, I have to say, and Jacob Brown off Stephen Fletcher. I think Powell must be, let me just do a double check for you. He's definitely in double figures, isn't he? Nick Powell, 11 goals from sort of a supporting striker role, midfielder role, a goal every 212 minutes. I think that's excellent when we're looking for number 10s in our team of the season. I'm sure his name will come up. For Swansea, Woodman, Norton, Cabango, Guay, Robertson, Manning, Smith, Grimes and Fulton, Ayew and Lowe. And here are the goals. And nasty giveaway. So I think it's Mark Guay, was it? Stephen Fletcher, actually, very clever, kind of jumps up and flicks it back with the outside of his foot. And he gets played into Powell, who sticks it home. This is a great goal, a brilliant goal, actually. We saw Tunnicliffe do one of these for Luton last night as well. Manning number 3 has crossed that one in. And Roberts, a flying volley there. He's had a great season, Roberts at wing-back, hasn't he? Brilliant stuff. And here we go. I'll keep my powder dry on this. I'll say, well, I've seen them not given and I've seen them given. Is it Norton? Right forward at the end of the game. And Jack Clark, I think, with the inverted commas foul. But hey-ho, everyone gets a nice penalty during the season, don't they? And Andre Ayew, cool as you like, actually, he virtually stops on the run-up and walks up and strokes that home. And the Swans, maybe getting a little break, but they win tight games, don't they? Swansea. And it was a vital win as well, given the Watford victory. 3 big chances to 2 to Stoke in the game. So they'll be really happy with that 3 points. Swansea, bit spotty. Look, win, lose, win, which ultimately 1.5 on the points per game. If that maintains, that won't keep them. You'd think second place would be performing higher than that. However, they have 2 games in hand, and it's reasonable to say that they will get 2 points in those 2 games, which would mean their destiny is in their own hands and they would be ahead of Brentford and Watford. It does just feel, and the terminology I have used and will continue to use, is that it's fine margins with Swansea. They're not creating tons and tons of chances and conceding none. It's a bit tighter than that, and their game management's very good, and I think their manager is very good as well. Stoke are now 10 points off the playoffs. I predicted they would finish in the playoffs at the start of the season, and this is starting to represent somewhat of an underachievement, I think, with that squad, to be 10 off the playoffs with 12 to go. Hey, they could put in a mad run, but we would be talking about 6 wins in 8 or something to even get close, given, look at the pace that Barnsley and Cardiff are on at the moment. That's the standard set by the chasing pack. Let's have a look and see what you guys are saying in the comments. Use whatever language you like to describe the penalty. Soft. There we go. Could be an exciting race for second. Again, these are not my words. Clear dive and Stoke hit the post. Stoke's goal was a gift. Terrible defending. Clear dive. I would give him a 3-match ban. We'll see if he gets the old deceiving of an official. Stoke unlucky not to get a point. Roberts, Fulton, Manning were brilliant. There have been numerous questionable decisions at Stoke for us. We haven't won there, so I can't say I feel too bad. There we go. Stoke were robbed a point in that game. A clearer dive, as you will see. Iffy, more like ridiculous. Never again. Use whatever language you're comfortable with. Even game, Stoke were unlucky. Big wins for us Swans. Doesn't matter about the performance. Just needed a win after a poor run. Stoke very unlucky. Stoke looked unlucky. A sickening dive at the death. Use what language you're comfortable with. Never a pen in a million years. Again, up to you how you describe it. But Swans were pushing the last 15 minutes following Hurahan for the weary-looking low. Did well to recover. There does seem a little bit of a small trend down, isn't it? Never a pen, in my opinion. I'm a Swans fan. Mistake from Gray apart. Manning looks incredible. He'll start. There we go. Let's keep putting a few more comments up and I will move on. There we go. I think we've we'll leave that last one up. But look, everyone will get a dodgy penalty in the season and you win by whatever means are necessary, don't you? No consolation if you're a Stoke fan at all. Let's move on. Bristol City 1, Bournemouth 2, and Woodgate has back-to-back wins, and he has Bournemouth in those playoff positions. We said the second Woodgate came in, didn't we? Look, he's got McCarthy and Warnock and Barnsley going like a train, but he has a better squad than all of them. So it's about competence. If it's decided in the dugout, maybe not so much. Maybe you'd rather have McCarthy or Warnock particularly. If it's decided on the pitch, they've got really good players, Bournemouth, and we all know that, don't we? So competence, if he can do it, and he gets the win here. Nigel Pearson's sort of second game in proper charge for Bristol City ends in defeat against Woodgate's Bournemouth. Bentley in goal for Bristol City. Rare mistake from him in this one. Hunt, Mariappa, Callas, Sessignon. Viner with Nige and Backinson. Palmer and Wells and Jeju up top. For Bournemouth, Begovic, Smith and Kelly fullbacks. Carter Vickers and Cook centre-backs. The other Cook, Pearson, and the ever-popular Jeff Lerma in central midfield. Stanislas, Danjuma and Solanke. Is that their strongest team? Might be close, but then look, still got Mepham, Rico, Stacey, Billing, just the ones I can see on the bench. Strong first 16 as the players get more and more weary. It's not even the first 16 anymore. You can have like 9 on the bench. Can't you get your comments in on this one? I was supposed to go to the goals there, not the split screen, wasn't I? There we go. There's the opening goal. Nice header that by Backinson. Loops that one into the net. Has he scored for Bristol City before, Backinson? If he has, he hasn't got many. So I like the player a lot. Nice loopy header. And Bristol City, who came from behind Swansea, didn't they? They're going to be caught from behind in this one. And again, yes, a horrible mistake by Bentley, who, yes, I understand has been very good all season, but he's got to catch that, hasn't he? Fumbles Stanislas's the cross from Stanislas into his own net. A rare mistake before half-time, 1-1. And Cameron Carter-Vickers is going to score with his backside here. Look at that. Phil Billing heads it down. Little bit of luck on 88 minutes. It goes in off Carter-Vickers behind his gluteus maximus and into the net. And Carter-Vickers credited with the goal by SofaScore. And the numbers tell us tight game. 5 shots on target to 3, 1 big chance to 0 in Bristol City's favour. So hardly a sustainable win for Bournemouth. But hey, at this stage, back-to-back wins, 12 to go. You'll take it, won't you? Can Woodgate keep them up and in there? 55 points for Bournemouth with, as I say, and we'll talk about Barnsley in a minute. Barnsley have a game in hand. Could you add 1.5 points on? Reasonably, you could from the points per game. So the Barnsley run could continue and knock them out. And still, Mick McCarthy, Cardiff, and Middlesbrough a bit further back with Neil Warnock, are fearsome, knowledgeable, wily competitors, aren't they? Let's have a look. Talk to me about Bournemouth and Bristol City, 4-5-1. There we go. Bournemouth started the better, but then City came into it and scored. Ghastly error by Bentley wearing a Clowns jersey. May have done better with late winner after a poor second half. Bournemouth for the playoffs with Norwich champions and Swansea second. Well, we're going to find out, aren't we? Nice. Billing could hit Carter-Vickers' backside without a banjo. Yes, he could. We have evidence of that. Was expecting more impact from Pearson in his first home match. Yes, Pearson against Woodgate. Woodgate gets the win. Couple of odd goals, though, let's just say. Right. QPR 1, Barnsley 3. And the Barnsley train continues their 16th win of the season and their 6th win in a row. They are on fire, are Barnsley. Do you know what they remind me of? They remind me of Ipswich under George Burley this is a very niche reference, in 97-98. And all I will say is Ipswich had their massive run too early and then ran out of steam and lost in the playoffs. Will Barnsley do that? They're looking like a pretty decent bet when you look at the trend of, say, Reading or Bournemouth compared to this huge upsurge with a Cardiff or a Barnsley that we're talking about now. And it's a 6th straight victory for Ishmael and the Tykes. Brilliant stuff by Barnsley. There's your Rangers team. Dieng, Dickey, Cameron, Barbet. Wallace and Kane, wing-backs. Johansson, Ball, Chair. Dykes and Austin up top. For Barnsley, Collins, Civic, Hellick, Anderson, Britton, Styles, Palmer, Mowat, and DK, Chaplin, and Woodrow. And they're going to owe Alex Mowat a little bit for his set plays in the first half because they're absolutely brilliant. It's Mowat's corner with the left foot, right over that player. There's always the player on the near post for, to head away the corner attempted into the near post. If you're a really good set play guy like Mowat is, you can get it over his head but still onto the near post. So it's a great corner. And DK flicks it in for his second goal, I think. Second goal? Yeah, it's a second goal for Barnsley, I think. Here's Charlie Austin, though, with the equaliser. He sticks it in right-footed. As I always say, big chance, Charlie. We always talk about big chances and XG. If you give Charlie Austin a big chance, he scores it pretty much every time, doesn't he? He's been a great signing. But what a goal this is. You've got to love that, haven't you? A touch of the Ronald Koemans with that one. Mowat with the left foot and Dieng's a good keeper. There's a brilliant shot from behind the goal. He puts that right in the top corner. Great goal from Mowat. And I've said this a few times. I saw Jordan Hugill come on for Norwich. Is he any better than Carlton Morris? I don't know. But Carlton Morris went out to Milton Keynes and on to Barnsley. And he scores yet again to make it 3-1. And it's 6 wins in a row for Barnsley. You've got to love it, haven't you? Brilliant story, this one. And they're just nailing games with intensity. Look, it's tight. 2 big chances apiece. 5 shots against 4 shots on target. 58-42 on the possession. Yes, probably Rangers had a few passes between the back three, as we know, with Warburton. But Barnsley are just doing the business. They are sweeping all before them. And momentum is real and confidence is real. We've all turned up to football stadiums, haven't we? And seen teams on form just show up and just take the lead, just like that. Just confidence, just going for it. And Barnsley have that air at the moment. 6 straight wins, 54 points with a game in hand. So, look, it's going to have to be a hell of a tear for Barnsley have got themselves in the position already in great form. So what we're looking at basically for Barnsley is it's already a 6-game run. And frankly, under Ishmael, it feels like more like a 26-game run, doesn't it? I don't know how many games Struber had at the start of the season. But can they do, on top of 6 straight wins, another 6 games with, say, 10 or 11 points? So 12 games, basically, of pretty much 28 or 30 points. That will get them into the playoffs. And then they've got to stay there after they get in there with, say, 7 or 6 games to go. On the evidence of the moment, they can, but it's going to have to be a really brilliant, sustained run right the way through from Barnsley. It's very exciting. Can they do it? Or will they run out of gas at some point? And you've got Reading have been in there all season. You've got Bournemouth, who have clearly got a better squad than pretty much everybody other than sort of Norwich and Watford, haven't they? Maybe Brentford. And then you've got Warnock and McCarthy, just the people you don't want to be chasing you as well. But let's enjoy the moment for Barnsley. Upper Swans, thank you, 5 bellies, £5 super chat. Keep up the great work. Let's talk about Barnsley because it's fun. The Barnsley game in hand is versus Derby. Interesting. John says Barnsley play us in a week and a half. Barnsley versus Bournemouth. Where is that game, John? No, it'll be at Bournemouth, won't it? Because Bournemouth thrashed Barnsley in the other game. Didn't we? Barnsley playing brilliant, playing as a team with a manager who knows exactly what he's doing. Would be a fairy tale. You know me. I'm always against the structure of the Championship and the horrible parachute payments. I'm all for a team that like Barnsley that's come from League One, going all the way through it. Barnsley may be hitting above their weight. They're doing well. I wish them all the best. I think we all do, don't we? I thought last night would be a game too far, but no. 2 home games against Brum and Derby. One of them is the game in hand. We have to capitalise. Barnsley's 6th win is historic. Tremendous stuff. QPR didn't look tired. Barnsley just too good for them. Defence may ultimately let them down. Goalkeeper looks a bit dodge. Mowat's still yet to sign a deal. No deal for Mowat yet. Barnsley giving hope to all non-parachute teams, aren't they? Just. I know there's wealthy owners in the background, but it doesn't make a difference nowadays, does it, with parachutes and with FFP? Barnsley, energy. The passing not brilliant, but the pressing was tremendous. The lack of actual skills may be our downfall. You never know. I always remember Watford going up with Graham Taylor in 98, 99, and they did exactly what Barnsley are doing now. They got on a run at the end of the season. It wasn't big. It wasn't clever. It was so effective, though. Check that promotion out. They just got on a run and nobody could beat them. No idea why we let Carlton Morris go. He looks a player, doesn't he? James agrees. As much as I let Hugo go, letting Morris go is seeming to be a mistake. He seems to be able to do it at this level, doesn't he? Barnsley's record win streak in the second tier, never done it before. DK looks a great signing. I think they've got a option to buy as well. I don't know what the fee is with the remaining fixtures. I've had some strongly for the top 6. I reserve the right to change my mind for the 34th time. Mr. E, do you notice why I always say as it stands and things like, but it's the Championship? Always need to add the caveat. One thing's for sure, Barnsley and Cardiff are playing better than Reading and Bournemouth at the moment. They're setting the standard. You were spot on about Scott Malone scoring. Yeah, check out my Twitter on that one. That tweet went off, I think, didn't it? Right. Enough gushing over Barnsley. Let's gush over Rotherham and lament a possible decisive defeat for Sheffield Wednesday in the huge game down at the bottom. And this is the most Championship result you'll ever see. Darren Moore, first game in, level at 1-1, red card. Wednesday, push for the win. Rotherham get it in the 97th minute. Sensational stuff. Yeah, nice memories of Graham Taylor. What a manager. It's a shame with Graham Taylor that documentary, a lot of people think of that. When we talk about too good for the Championship, I think Graham Taylor definitely was that year with Watford, wasn't he? The back-to-back promotions. Anyway, sorry. Sheffield Wednesday with a key defeat in Darren Moore's first game. Wildsmith in goal for them. Palmer, Lees, Borna, Penny, Windass, Reach, Shaw, Hutchison, Bannon and Patterson. For the Millers, Johansson, Olasunde, Harding, McDonald, Wiles, Barlassa. Joseph Soon, surprised me, rare start for him. Wing and Crooks, Giles and Smith up top. And Rotherham's finishing for these 2 goals is absolutely on point. What a header that was by Smith in from the right-hand side. Huge leap. And it doesn't just, go in 2 feet from the keeper. It flies into the corner. It's a great header by Smith. Now, I don't have a clue what went on here with Michael Smith. Sorry, I can't see the Wednesday player's number. Someone will let me know. They both go down. And I don't know, does he kick him? Does he kick out? The referee, to be fair, has a really good angle and he's looking straight at it. Does the head go in on his way up? I don't know. But Smith is given the red card by referee Bond. The name's Bond. Darren Bond. So they're going to play with 10 men and Wednesday get the equaliser. And again, I'm so confused by this goal. I've watched it back about like 10 times. I kept pressing the 10 seconds back marker on YouTube. The Wednesday player, again, sorry, I can't see his number, goes past the keeper, kind of falls over. I don't know. Does it hit him and then Olasunde and then go in? Very strange goings on in this game. And with Wednesday pushing for the winner, by the way, 4 big chances to 0 in this game. And what you won't see in here is a brilliant bit of play by Matt Crooks in the build-up to this. Defensive set play. He drives out and you think the best thing he can do is either win a free kick or just boot it into the corner to preserve that 1-1. No, he switches the play onto Ladapo. He comes forward inside and sticks in a goal that may be the proverbial, dagger through the heart of Sheffield Wednesday here, because Rotherham get the win 2-1. Unbelievable win for the Millers. And yeah, look at the underlying numbers with the red card, 15 shots to 9, 5 apiece on target. So Wednesday's finishing not great, but look, 4 big chances for Wednesday, 4 missed, 0 for Rotherham, and they get the 2-1 win. Brilliant stuff. And let's unpack that down at the bottom. This is a great round for Rotherham because nobody else won. Look at the entire from 14th downwards and Preston. Everybody lost except Huddersfield and Birmingham, who drew against each other. So the Millers basically take 3 points out of everyone except Birmingham and Huddersfield, who they take 2 points out of. And there are games in hand. Yes, Rotherham have just reached the point per game as well. So we can feasibly add 2 points on. It isn't enough. They do still need wins, but they look dead and buried a little bit, as we tend to make this judgment. 14 games to go for the Millers. Can they get another 14 points? Can they get to 46 points? Because we know, because I tell you all the time, the 10-year average is 45 to survive. 45 to survive. That rhymes. I could make that into a little catchphrase, couldn't I? So things look better for Rotherham. Can they get 14 points from the last 14 games or more? For Sheffield Wednesday, well, they're further back. They are 7 points adrift now with 13 games to go. Is that the decisive blow for Wednesday against a key rival? What are you guys saying in the chat? Cracking finish, soft red. What was it for? I didn't get it. There we go. We're all Wednesday, aren't we? Nat's still behind them. There we go. Never a red card. What was it for? Someone tell me what it was for. Pathetic red card. That's why some elements of VAR are needed. Look, VAR will be good if they can just fix up how it works. But yeah, it probably would have helped them, wouldn't it? I think that result for Wednesday will send them down. Rotherham, I'm sure, has a game on them too. They do indeed. Wednesday have to start picking up some form now. Absolutely. So is that it for Wednesday survival hopes? It could be. It really, really could be. Watch that Smith incident back. Yeah, I'm not saying it's not a red card. I'm just saying from the angle I saw, I can't see it. The camera obviously at Hillsborough's in that big main stand. To be fair to referee Bond, he's looking from the other side. And if he saw some kind of headbutt or kick out, then fine, whatever. But it wasn't clear on the coverage. Rotherham deservedly won. A Birmingham win against Barnsley on Saturday could put a nail in for Wednesday and Barnsley's playoffs. Indeed. Iain, there we go. Immense pride in our performance. Stupid red card. Owls did miss chances, so do we. Players playing out of position. Ola Sunday and Harding outstanding. Wednesday doomed. Winner came as a result of a horrendous corner by Brown. And what great play by Crooks, though, for the winning goal, Chris. Rotherham will stay up at the expense of Huddersfield. Nat sums it up there from a Wednesday point of view. Ridley thinks Wickham and Wednesday are gone. Yeah, not a great season for the Steel City. Brian, tough run in for Wednesday. But I haven't looked, actually, Brian. You're a step ahead of me. 45 is when life begins. 45 to survive. Absolutely. Well, let's hope the average doesn't change this season. Wednesday home form has been their bedrock. Now they've lost the last 2. Yes, they did have 5 on the trot. He elbowed him. If he did, the camera didn't pick it up. So yeah, fair enough. First replay, I thought Smith just stood up. Second, watch as he's bent over, seems to lunge a little, still soft red. Yeah. I'm not passing any judgment. Just saying from the angle from the main stand, I didn't know what it was for. Wednesday would be bottom 3 without the deduction. Yes, indeed. Thank you, Mark. Thanks so much. $10 super chat there. Great respect for your unbiased love of our beautiful game. Long time Hornet. Thank you, Mark. I hope you can see I do just love my football. Try and be unbiased there. Don, each season there is a game where you just know that you'll be getting promoted or relegated. Yeah, and was that the game for Sheffield Wednesday, this game and this round, and for Norwich? Indeed, for the Owls, I think that game was where it seems it's going to happen. Hope you stay up, Rotherham from Barnsley. We've got Birmingham to play in the 4th to last game of the season. RUFC vlogs by Tiny Pie. Just got to be in with a game, if you're down the bottom there, of points parity. You've got to be 3 points off a point per game, I think, going into those last few games, particularly that Birmingham game that Tiny Pie is mentioning. Nat says Norwich, Swansea, Cardiff, Barnsley, Forest and Derby still to come. Eek, eek, eek. The mighty Millers. March on. Back to work for Anthony. Right, before you lot go, who is our team of the round? Get your votes in. Don't just vote for the team you support. It's boring, is my normal rant on this one. Let me give you some options. Who got wins this round? I will tell you, and you can vote for your team of the round. Cardiff win again, 4-0. Borough with an away win. Could vote for them. You could vote for Millwall, who beat Preston with a great goal from Scott Malone. You could vote for Luton, who have 20 points from 8 goals away from home. Incredible. You could go for Reading, who are reasserting their playoff push. You could go for Norwich, who seem up and won against their highest ranked rivals. You could go for Barnsley, who everyone seems to love at the moment, who won their 6th straight game. We'll probably get a lot of votes for them. You could go for Watford and their amazing home record. You could go for Bournemouth under Woodgate, who's proving a few of us wrong in a very short sample size. You could go for Rotherham and their magnificent 97th minute away win. You go for Swansea, who just win tight games. Let's have a little look at our straw poll on this one and see who you are going from. Rotherham, Barnsley, Barnsley, Rotherham, 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 Barnsley, Rotherham, Barnsley, 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 Rotherham, Bournemouth, Barnsley, Millwall, Rotherham, Rotherham, Barnsley, Luton, Rotherham, Barnsley, Barnsley. Why don't Rotherham and Barnsley just match? Rotherham, Cherries, Rotherham, Rotherham, Bournemouth. I think we're going to go with Rotherham, aren't we, for our team of the week in the chat, with obviously a lot of love for Barnsley and their 6th straight victory. Thank you, everybody, for watching. I didn't mean to press on that. No, I don't think the Ipswich takeover is off, but the EADT are very quiet today, Chris, if you follow their Twitter. But I'll do some digging this afternoon, is all I'll say. DM me. Let's say thank you as ever to Russ, our fan sponsor, for the review shows. A fan and our friend despite best terrible taste in football teams. Before you go, everybody hit the thumbs up button, hit the like button, and have a think about possibly subscribing over on Patreon. If you want to shout out, get your name in the bottom there. Nat, Charlie, Iain, we've won Summit, Stephen, Callum, Brandon, Steve. As I always say, I follow 30 football teams each season, but I do rely on your knowledge, and it's brilliant, the insight you guys bring in the chat. Could not do it without you guys. Just subscribed, missed your channel. Well, there you go. Welcome back. I don't know why you went. There we go. Shout out to Back of the Net. There you are. You are shouted out. And Rod as well. Right. We'll call it quits there for the shout out. Sorry if you just missed the cutoff. I don't know what I'm going to do tonight. I might do some Dearly Departed because I think West Brom and Fulham are both playing. But Championship preview show will be tomorrow at 1 p.m. Join me for that. And all that remains for me to say is a big thank you to all you guys for your insight and your involvement and your wonderful super chats today. And it's over and out from me. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button to see more videos from this channel. Hit the subscribe button and to be notified every time we upload. Ring the bell for those notifications to come through on your device. If you really want to support the channel and me as a content creator, I will be eternally grateful if you head over to the merch store and grab something, or support over on Patreon, patreon.com/Benjamin Bloom. Thank you for your time. Go and watch another video.